Welcome to Alphanumeric, a compendium of poetry and fiction selected by the staff of Zoetic Press. This week, Crazy Love, where we find that logic has no place in this most human of emotions. Come join us. Raven-ous. I learned young that hunger doesn't wait for permission. Ravens don't blush over what feeds them. They glide into the field where something has already given way, first licked flat by rain, the opened seam of a rib cage, the soft fact that something used to be able to run. They do not ask how it got there. They lower their heads and enter. I have loved like that. You were already split down the middle when I discovered you. Voice worn thin at the edges, your laugh still wet with someone else's name. I tilted my head, chirped when you offered me the glitter-worn trinket of yourself. Hunger is not delicate. It is a shine along the throat. It is the soft sound of entry. Ravens collect what glints. Foil, bones, shard, a button. The way you press your tongue to your canines when you're thinking. The way you're held a cigarette like it was thinking for you. I tried on your posture like a coat still warm from your body. I needed to know. Did I want your mouth, or did I want to be it? There's a point where mimicry stops being performance and becomes muscle, where the voice you've rehearsed slicks your own vocal cords until it is the only way you know how to speak. I do not circle politely. I descend upon the meadow of silk and you. Here the air tastes like pennies, iron and heat and sharp, like your nails digging into my back, like your fingers tugging at the roots of my hair. Feathers damp with your gutter water, black gone green in the right light. I enter the bright cavity, plunder something small and twinkling, and call it love. If I want your mouth, it is because I want to feel how it moves from the inside. If I want to be you, it is only because I know how to take. The raven cannot decide between devotion and disillusion. I do not love halfway. I orbit, I glean, I devour. I open my beak, and your name falls out. Cold War Submarines. Let's play a game of who can be quietest. You win. Blindly coy dancing centimeters apart without a clue. I'm not touching you. The fire of a million suns in our cure. And it's a different planet down here. Weightless, hovering above whale song-haunted urchin barrens. But I can't point out to you all the sunken treasures of bioluminescent stars. Because people up where the people are insist that we're in hate. All the legion little voices within me under noise discipline, keeping my secrets, couple quietly in hot-drawn curtain bunks, to stifle their moans, sweaty as peach slices canned in their own syrup. How like sea snails slipping from their shells will slither across each other's tongues and worship at the pillars of temple drowned below the waves. How flat is the surface world compared to our deepness? I'm following you off the edge of the map to sail across a sea of comets and cold fields of sunflowers, starfish. We're self-contained and sufficient, vulnerable only to rust and lust. Sounding you out, reaching crushed depth. Saturn is lighter than the liquid in which our organs swim. Contact. Buoyant heart surface past my lips. Come up for air. Salt spray, nautical knot, able-bodied, and hello, sailor. Let's play another game. What's hard, long, and full of? You win. Coffee maker piano. Every morning at 6:15, William gets out of bed and leaves the bedroom door open. Today he walks down the tiled hall hung with the dusty family photos, passes them without looking up from his varicosed feet, and sits down at the 1931 Steinway concert grand piano in the open-plan kitchen. An L-shaped bench with a fridge caps off one end, and a round dining table sits behind the piano, bronze pipes sagging up from the kettle and down to a glass coffee pot waiting in the center. It would be an oddity in someone else's house. Here, it's something they built after they got married, a piece of adventurous art like Mary's hand-sculpted mugs with their ugly faces and ear-shaped handles sitting empty on the windowsill. The house is mouse-quiet. For the first time, he sat alone at the piano. The keys told a shocked William that they would miss her touch. Was he going mad? He stared as they told him how Mary had a way with them, knew how to press them just so and make the perfect cup of coffee in the early mornings, the kind that made the steam curl fine as lace, and knew which keys ran slightly flat and bitter or not quite right. The song could be played alone, but they would always play it together and sit out under the ivy-strung pergola, where they never ran out of everythings and nothings to talk about. William missed her, so he listened but did not play. The keys wait in the morning silence, so heavy they might all have played at once if it really weighed something. William's breathing wheezes into it, in and out. He is as old as the polished tiger mahogany of the piano, his wrinkles reflected in the striped wood where he swears he sees her sitting beside him. He reaches out but stops short of touching it, like her image is water and disturbing it might erase her completely. It's stupid, he knows, but he's been so long with her and so short without her that there's hardly any way to see the world without her in it. Eventually his hand falls to press his knot-jointed fingers into the closest F sharp. A drop of hot water falls into the coffee grounds. But he can't do more than this. He can't make himself play the next note because it was her note, her hands, her song that would make the coffee. He keeps playing F sharp over and over, so her absence is filled with real noise, not the noises he hears when he's alone too long. The far cry of sirens, warbling as they stopped right in front of the house, the patter of slippers as the neighbors worried in from down the street, siren songs so different to what they usually heard so early in the morning. The hurried steps of the doctors and the rattle of her bed and the beeping of machines as they raced her inside too fast for him to keep up. The keys take it upon themselves to speak of moments rich in sound that weren't themselves. The day Mary went into labor while he was at work, and how she swore black and blue that he better be there, or so help her God. The day he brought her home after having her wisdom teeth extracted and she could only say random assortment of vowels. William slips into a C sharp, his fingers almost feather-light across the pine spruce keys. Each of them was individually weighed when this piano was made, but he cannot bring himself to do the same with his hands, instead asking them to go on with the most hesitant of touches. The hot water drips with each press. Like they're 3 children who'd stuck to his side at her funeral. Each key insists on sharing their memories of the family dancing in the living room, their children's joyous screaming when they got their university offers, the baby showers, the birthday parties, and the cozy autumn rains that kept them all indoors. He wondered if the piano ever spoke to her as if she heard his I love you before she passed, and if she's listening now, wherever she is. He adds a G sharp minor, playing the F sharp and C sharp before it, 3 plangent chords that make hot water fall steadily into the coffee now, coffee rising and blooming in the filter. The smell of it only hints in the air, so faint it's still a question being asked by Mary's ugly mugs, their mouths open and ear-shaped handles turned toward him. Outside, the neighbors wake to a familiar song. Assimilation cycle. Starts with a craved kiss, ignoring the spread of rot, mold, easy to miss. Throat infiltrated, spores leave alveolar stains where breath located. Vocal cords are bound. Fungal rubber bands in knots cannot make a sound. Sly filaments rip, burrow into tissued brain. Thoughts change ownership. Same face, psychic con. Old self spent, but new liege not. Life siphoned is gone. Name left like a ghost. Extractive greed inhumane seduces next host. Predator. I put a lock of my hair under a microscope. Inside I saw a forest of trees with scaly bark, trunks made of protein chains begging to be fed. A woman emerged from the shade with a basket in front of her like an offering. Inside the basket I saw the head of a sow, with teeth removed so she wouldn't bite. All through the skull, galaxies of nerve cells, folded and fissured like a human brain, with immature synapses into the visual cortex of a pig forced to live in the dark. I saw a lake filled with juices of adrenaline squealing, the surface skimmed by a human hearts made of wasp nests, carefully constructed like a gated community, and inside a paper chamber, I saw me. This has been Alphanumeric, a production of Zoetic Press. Our lead editor is Kaya Ball, and our engineer is Lee Quintana. This week you heard Raven-ous by Isabella Nesheiwat, Cold War Submarines by Josh Pearce, Coffee Maker Piano by Ella T. Holmes, Assimilation Cycle by Ayida Shonibar, Predator by Andrea Halliday, all performed by Bex Kingsley. We're hard at work on Non-Binary Review issue number 44, saying goodbye to yesterday, but you can fill the empty hours until it comes out by reading Non-Binary Review issue number 43, Carnival. Get the ebook bundle at zoeticpress.com for just $5. Did you know that our critique column, The Literary Whip, is happening on Substack? Each week we take a good piece that didn't quite make the cut and our editors give their takes on what did and didn't work. It's a must-read for anyone who wants a peek behind the scenes at our editorial process. If you want to see your work in the pages of an upcoming issue of Non-Binary Review, or hear it on Alphanumeric read for you in the melodic tones of a Zoetic staffer, you can find upcoming themes and a link to our submission manager on zoeticpress.com/submit. Zoetic Press, because humans are hardwired to tell stories.